According to the American Psychological Association, between 80 and 95% of college students procrastinate on their schoolwork. Now, before discussing tips for overcoming procrastination in the boring way, let's discuss human brain in 2 minutes with the help of a cartoon snake and an old professor. Humans like to think we are a clever lot, yet those magnificent, mighty brains that allow us to split the atom and touch the moon are the same stupid brains that can't start an assignment until the last day. To understand why, let's divide our brain into 2 parts. This part, the clever, rational part of your brain you think of as your human consciousness, let's call him Albert. He lives in your brain alongside an impulsive baby reptile called Rex. You know how you can't resist the urge to notice an amazingly gorgeous girl? That's Rex, and no matter how hard you try, you can never turn him off. He is your instinct, your impulse, your love, and your fear. We like to think of Albert as our true self, the conscious part of our brain. He is the talking, reasoning part. When we decide to go to the gym or write that term paper, Albert made that decision, but Albert is old, easily exhausted, and switches off all the time. Your brain is locked in a battle between a sleepy professor and an impulsive reptile with unlimited energy. You may as well hand Rex the steering wheel. Rex does listen to Albert. Like a child, he will do a lot of what he is told, as long as he doesn't disagree too much. But if Rex craves to crash on the sofa to watch Netflix and eat Cheetos, that's what you are going to do. The incredible rise of mankind that surrounds us is possible because we have developed systems to control the Rexes in our brains. Much of this system we call civilization, where we have access to widely available food and shelter, takes care of the Rex in our brains. So, Albert can do something useful, like discover penicillin or invent Cheetos. Now that you know how your brain works, let's look at your procrastination. You are making a decision with your conscious mind and wondering why you are not carrying it out. That's because your decision maker, Rex, is not so mature. Imagine how you had to constantly convince a young child to do what you wanted. For simple actions, asserting your authority might be enough. Like telling the child to do his homework. But if that child doesn't want to do something, it won't listen. You have to persuade it. So, let's dive into the 6 tips that can help you to control the Rex in your brain. First, try to forget logic. Once you have decided to do something, logic won't help you. Your inner reptile can be pacified, scared, and excited, but it does not speak with language and cannot be reasoned with. So, once you decide to do something, just avoid overthinking your decision and dive into it. Second, realize that comfort matters. If you are hungry, tired, or depressed, your Rex will rebel. Fail to take care of yourself and he will scream and refuse to do a damn thing you say. That's what he is for. Eat, sleep, and make time for fun. So, take proper care of yourself to stop that Rex from overwhelming you. Third, nurture discipline. Build a routine of positive and negative reinforcement. If you want a child to eat their vegetables, don't give them dessert first. Reward yourself for successes and set up assured punishments for your failure. Classic examples include committing to a public goal or working in a team. Social pressure can influence Rex. Fourth, incite emotion. Your reptile brain responds to emotion, that is its language. So get yourself pumped or terrified. Motivational talks, movies, and articles can work for a while. I listen to relaxing music while working on my assignments. I have included some amazing tracks in the description that you can listen to get yourself in the right mood to work. Picture the happiness associated with getting something done or the horrors of failing. Make your imagination clear enough that it shakes you. As a student, you can think of getting an A to motivate you to study, or imagine the horrors of failing to incite fear. Figure out what works for you. Fifth, force a start. The most important thing you can do is start. Much of Rex's instincts are to avoid change. And once you begin something, those instincts start to tip into your favor. With enough time, you can even convince Rex to love doing the things he hated. There's a reason we force kids to go to school or to try piano lessons. Remember, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Afterwards, the journey itself becomes enjoyable. 6th, bias your environment. Rex is short-sighted and not very bright. If he sees a Facebook icon, he will want it. It's like showing a child the start of a cool TV program immediately before bedtime. So, design your environment to be free from such distractions. Sign out of Instant Messenger, turn off notifications, and put your phone on silent. Even better, have separate places for work and fun. Once you know what to look for, you will start to recognize patterns and control them. There's an impulsive baby reptile Rex in your brain, and unfortunately he has the steering wheel. If you can be a good parent to him, he will do mostly what you say. Just remember who is in charge. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to this channel. I'm sure that's what your Albert wants.